Hi, this is Dr. Saila. Today I'm going to talk about green leaves. We all know greens are not only planet's friendly foods, but they're also waistline friendly foods. Greens are practically a staple food for almost all health conscious and weight conscious people. And green leaves are recognized as most nutrient rich group of veggies with several health benefits. And we all know they are very rich in vitamins, especially vitamin K, vitamin A, B, and folic acid. And of course, they are rich in chlorophyll, antioxidants, and a lot of fiber in the green leaves. And greens are good for our eyes. In particular, greens such as kale, mustard greens, Swiss chard, and they're all very rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, which help filter high energy light that may cause eye damage. So greens are rich in B vitamins. The reason it's important is because the B vitamins are water soluble, which means your body does not store them. So you have to eat the greens every day. Let's talk about the cooking methods of green leaves. Tough greens like kale, turnip greens, and Swiss chard are great sources of nutrients, especially calcium. These hardy greens are not preferred by many because of the texture. Here are some tips to eat them. I would not avoid them because they're very healthy. And add these greens to smoothies with fruits. And remember to use the high-speed blender to make these smoothies. And banana is a great addition for the smoothies, and you can use other fruits like apples, grapes, and any berries will do. And marinating these greens in vinegar, especially the apple cider vinegar, which is available in the health food store, or lemon is a very good option. I generally massage the green leaves when I make my salad to break the cell walls. That way they are easily digestible and of course palatable too. And it's a good idea to rotate the greens instead of just eating the same greens every day. I know there are several arguments about the protein content of the greens, but the protein that's available in the green leaves is easily assimilable than meat protein. Let's talk about bitter greens and how to incorporate them in our daily menu. Bitter greens are mustard greens and broccoli rabe. Because they're very healthy, we don't want to avoid them. The way I consume mustard greens is by fermenting the mustard grains. I have the recipe in my blog. Another recipe called creamy coconut greens, which is a blend of two different grains. One of them is mustard grains. So that's a very delicious recipe you can check on my blog. I was asked several times about thyroid problems and eating greens like kale. Because some greens do contain certain substances called goitrogens. But that doesn't mean that you should avoid these greens. If you have known thyroid problems, depending on how severe it is, you'll have to discuss with your doctor to see whether these greens are okay for you. But if you don't have any thyroid problem and you consume so-called goitrogenic substances such as cruciferous vegetables, soy products, less than 4 to 5 servings a week, it should not really make you get thyroid problems as long as you take diet rich in iodine such as sea vegetables and consume selenium rich nuts such as Brazil nuts. And my take on this is do not eat the same type of greens every day and rotate the greens and eat mineral rich foods such as seaweed like kelp or dulse, and eat mixed nuts every day and include Brazil nuts in that mixed nuts. Which greens are good for salads? Mesclun mix is very good, and watercress is a powerhouse of greens, and endives are good. Try baby greens. Lettuce is great for summer salads, but in the late summertime it tends to get a little bit bitter. There are certain greens called dandelions and purslane. They're actually weeds, but don't avoid them just because they're weeds. They're very delicious and they're nutrient rich greens. Greens that are good for soups and stews are hardy greens such as kale, chard, turnip greens, collard greens, and amaranth greens. They're all very good for soups. And what about sour greens? There are some greens called Gongura in my mother tongue and Sorrel Spinach. And these are sour greens and they're slightly acidic. And if you take these greens in small amounts, they're good for digestion. So don't avoid them. You can in fact cook these grains with other grains for better taste. And the last but not least topic is organic greens versus conventional greens. I would encourage buying only organic greens. If you don't have a choice to get organic, then soak the green leaves in vinegar water, which means 1 cup of vinegar to 1 quart of water, and soak the grains for about 10 minutes and then wash, hoping that vinegar would at least clean some of the pesticides off of the green leaves. But there are some pesticides inside the leaves which vinegar won't be able to take out. But at least you are just cutting down some pesticides. Most importantly, enjoy the greens any way you like and make sure you consume at least 1 serving every day. Please check my website drsaila.com, drsaila.com, for more details on this topic and for the references. This information is based on my opinion. This is intended as sharing of knowledge and is not intended as medical advice or a substitute for your doctor's visit. If you need medical advice, always contact your own professional healthcare provider and do your own research. Thank you. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. And remember, as always, your health is in your hands.